Baltimore City Council.
Wait, not Mary Pat.
Oh, I gotta go. I gotta go, bye. Woo-hoo!
Press, Jack. You can come back. This is Baltimore City Council Judiciary and Legislative Investigations Committee. We are here today for Council Bill 18-0199, Charter Amendment Office of the Inspector General. I'm joined to my immediate left, going left by City Council President Bernard C. Jack Young, Councilman Ryan Dorsey from the 3rd District, Councilman Brandon Scott, 2nd District, member of the committee, Councilman John Bullock, 9th District, member of the committee, Councilman Chris Burnett, 8th District, Councilwoman Mary Pat Clark, Vice Chair of the committee from the 14th District. To my right, Councilman Ed Reisinger, 10th District, member of the committee, Councilman Robert Stokes, 12th District, member of the committee, Councilman Leon Pinkett, 7th District, member of the committee. Also joined by Kara Kuntz, Legislative Director to Council President Jack Young. To my immediate right, Matt Peters, staff to the committee. We have Karan Banks, Poetry Deal, and Karen Stokes representing Mayor Catherine Pugh. Before we begin, a couple quick ground rules. This hearing is being televised, as are all the Charter Amendment hearings. If you are testifying, please speak clearly into the mic up there. If you're a member of the public and you wish to testify, this does not apply to city agencies. Please be sure to sign in on the sign-in sheet. This hearing is also being streamed live on www.charmtv.tv/watch-live. Before we begin, I'd like to turn it over to Councilman Ryan Dorsey, chief sponsor of the bill, for brief introductory remarks. Councilman Dorsey.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members of the committee and all those here from the Mayor's office, the Inspector General's office, the Budget Bureau, and the Law Department. Just brief history, I started drafting this bill like a year ago and spent 3 or 4 months kind of working through a lot of conversations with a lot of folks, where we were starting from a model drawn from both the existing executive order of the city and recommendations in the Association of Inspector General's publication, the Green Book. And about the time that we were getting close to something that looked like it was ready for introduction, I heard that some folks locally were working on a report to set forth recommendations about the association of, about the Inspector General's office here that would also be based on the Green Book. And so I decided to withhold introduction of the bill until that report came out, and once it, so that I could kind of compare notes once it did. Once it did, I resumed some conversations, met with the authors of that report, met with our new Inspector General and others to craft some changes to what I had, and that's what we introduced. That's what was introduced. More recent weeks, obviously, we have had the Charter Commission review recommendations come from the administration and the committee put forth to review the charter, who thankfully also included a bill on the Inspector General, which really confirmed that something important and strong was needed here to strengthen the office as it exists. That not a simple ordinance would be, that a simple ordinance wouldn't be the thing to do, that a charter amendment would be really the thing to do. And I'm really thankful here for the partnership of the chair of this committee, Councilman Costello, the council president's office, the administration, and the law department to help to come to some agreement about kind of what the best of both bills. And I think that we're going to hear some amendments to this bill tonight that leave us with something that I think it really continues the best of both worlds, and they are alterations that do not compromise what I believe to be in the integrity of the bill, and I'm really happy with the outcome here. I'm very thankful to have the support of all those I've spoken to about this. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. We'll start off with agency reports. Michael, if you could please give a copy of that to each of these four. Or Kara, thank you. We've also been joined by Michael Huber, Director of Economic Development for Council President Jack Young. So let's start off with the agencies. First off, Department of Finance, Mr. Seneme. My understanding is that you all were holding off because you knew that an agreement was being worked on here. So based on that agreement, what is the Department of Finance's position?
So we support the bill as amended. Our concerns in the original bill were about, dedicated funding, which we had concerns about, but it sounds like from some of the provisions in each of these bills that were combined, we're supportive of what we have here in front
Excellent.
of us.
All your concerns have been alleviated?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have the Board of Ethics. Do we have anyone from the Board of Ethics here? Okay. So the Board of Ethics is part of what we've worked through, is not included in here any longer, so there's no need for an agency report from them. We have the Office of the Comptroller. Do we have anyone here from the Comptroller? Any?
We didn't get excuse me, Mr. Chairman. I'm Stuart Beckham from the Office of the Controller. We did not get a chance to submit our testimony. We're just here observing right now.
Okay, so you're not taking a position, correct?
No position.
Thank you very much. Okay. City Solicitor, Victor, I'm assuming that the Law Department approves what we're about to debate for form and legal sufficiency. Is that correct?
We're going to support the bill for form and legal sufficiency, Mr. Chair. I'm just noticing, however, that it says Article 11 here. On the very first page, you look down on page line 19, it says new Article 11, and probably since we're not going to hear the other bills, which is probably going to be new Article 10.
Okay. We'll strike that from consideration, and that's a technical amendment.
It's a technical amendment. We can pick it up at any time, but maybe it'd be worthwhile picking up now. But we are prepared to, the Law Department is prepared to support the bill as you see amended on your desk.
Okay, when we get to that, we're just going to strike new, and we're going to strike 11. That's a technical amendment that I don't see any opposition from the committee. That can be handled by legislative reference, and whatever number it ends up becoming, they can number it as appropriate. Inspector General, Ms. Cumming. Please.
Chairman Costello, Council President Young, and this very esteemed committee. First, I would like to thank you.
Please pull that.
Oh, I have to apologize. Usually, I'm very loud. Unfortunately, I actually have laryngitis. But I want to thank you very much for the opportunity of working together to really make this opportunity to have a strong Inspector General something here that Baltimore City can be very proud of. The last 4 or 5 months that I've been working here, I do believe my office and my team is actually here right now. Most of them have really made a difference. We actually have 28 open investigations. We've gotten 70 hotline complaints. We have reviewed almost every department in Baltimore City: Recs and Parks, Police, Housing, General Services, Transportation, Finance, Human Resources, just to name a few. My office also has gone from just 30% diverse to over 70% diversity in the last 4 months. We've had 2 successful sentencings, almost $40,000 returned to the city of Baltimore. There's been one new indictment. There's been 3 public synopsises issued. We do presentations to all new employee orientations. Every Thursday, we look forward to the hotline blast. We've simplified our complaint. We developed a policy and procedures manual, and hopefully in the next year, we will become an integral part of the city of Baltimore, and I know we will be. Because of this amendment, which we are very much in favor of, which will give the Office of the Inspector General the opportunity to be independent, which is the best practice of all cities. I think this can make a real difference, and I thank you all very much for the amount of work that has gone into this. And I have really tried to stay out of the politics of it all, but I want you to know that we are very supportive of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues, before we consider amendments or go into testimony from the public, are there any questions for any of the agencies?
Nope.
I have a quick question. I was speaking with Councilman Dorsey, and he was getting me up to speed on these memoranda of understanding with different agencies. Have we looked at all at what are the 3 agencies that we have those with? Yeah, or you can just grab the mic there. That's fine.
We actually have 4. We have Department of Transportation, Department of Public Works, the police, and the fire.
Okay, and those are essentially where those agencies make a journal entry transfer to you to utilize or to basically fund a position within your office.
Correct, and a car too,
Okay.
a vehicle, yeah.
Has there, just out of curiosity, has there been any thought given to utilizing employees from other agencies? And one agency that comes to mind is the sheriff, another being BPD, just out of curiosity.
The problem we've had, they pretty much have to come from our office to use. There's so much confidentiality, and I'm very cautious of any types of leaks or anything. I don't know if you remember, there was a leak with BPD about DeSouza's second in command, and it ended up we actually did an investigation into where that leak came from. So sometimes I think it's best just to have our own people and for them to fund us rather than for us to use their people. But that being said, we do work together with them on cases that we can. Like we use part of their IT people, and we work together, but we really do need to have our own team.
Got it. That makes sense. It's very helpful. Thank you. And we certainly appreciate all the improvements and visibility that have been made to the office since you've come on board. So thank you. At this time, we're going to take public testimony. We have one person signed up to testify, Marceline White.
Good evening, Chair, members of the City Council. My name is Marceline White, and I'm the director of BCAT, which is the Baltimore Committee for Accountability and Transparency. We are here to support the bill as amended. BCAT was formed to support the vision for a strong, independent office of the Inspector General. And it was formed in part because we believe strongly that this is the direction that Baltimore City needs to go to increase trust, accountability, to root out fraud and corruption, and to follow the best practices of the Association of Inspector Generals nationally. We support the bill. We commend Councilman Dorsey and the co-sponsors of the bill, and we also commend Mayor Pugh for her work on looking at these issues and coming together to strengthen the office. As amended, the bill retains the critical structural changes which we were seeking, which ensure that the hiring and any potential dismissal of an inspector general is transparent, fair, and impartial. It expands the powers that the IG has to root out fraud, corruption, and increase trust and accountability. It also sets a minimum guaranteed funding level for the office, as well as a minimum level for compensation, and allows an annual report so that the public can continue to understand and support the work of the IG. We believe this is an important first step in ensuring the best practices are upheld, and for all these reasons, we urge a favorable report as amended. Thank you. I'm done.
We had a little conversation about something.
Do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So again, Marceline White with the Baltimore Committee for Accountability and Transparency. BCAT was formed to support the vision and strength of a stronger independent Inspector General's office. And we support this legislation as amended. We commend Councilman Dorsey, the co-sponsors of the bill, and the mayor's office for coming together to create and strengthen this office. And we support it in part because it builds on the best practices of the Association of Inspector Generals and includes the structural changes we were seeking. So for all these reasons, we urge a favorable report.
Thank you. I'd also add the Council President's office played a major role in ensuring that we had a compromise here, so thank you, Council
We
President.
appreciate that, Council President.
Okay, we are now going to consider amendments. Colleagues, you have amendments on your desks individually. So I'm not going to read these amendments, but we will make this available online. Amendment 1, as you can see on page 1, and please note that we agreed to strike new and 11 as those are. I got it. We'll remove new and 11. Obviously, those are technical, but the remainder of that will stay. Is there a motion to move that amendment? Second? Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Amendment passes. Amendment 2 on the bottom of page 1.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
this is the one with the numbering technical change. I just looked up the administration's bill, which is where that came from. It's numbered as 9, not.
So
Not
it should
10.
follow, it should follow 10. I mean, at this point, that should be Article 10.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 according, 9 we're holding on to under what happened yesterday. So 9 we're holding on to, no change in 9. So this would be a new article, and this would be Article 10.
Is there a motion to move Amendment 2? Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Amendment 3 on page 2 deals with the composition of the board. Is there a motion to move the amendment? Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Amendment number 4.
Second.
No. No. No, that's number 5. Amendment number 4.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. We are going to hold off on amendment number 5 until the end. Amendment number 6.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Number 7 deals with removal and vacancy. It's already moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Amendment 8, removals.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Number 9, minor additions and some removal, as well as duties of the office. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Amendment 10, removals.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Amendment number 11, dealing with budget.
Move.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Amendment number 12, subpoena and power.
Move.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Amendment number 13, administration and operation.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Amendment 14, transition procedure.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Back to Amendment 5. Amendment 5. The Chief Administrative Judge for the Circuit Court of Baltimore City will be replaced with the Dean of the University of Maryland School of Law, and the State's Attorney will be replaced with the Dean of the University of Baltimore School of Law. Other than that, that's all that's in that amendment, so that will be what will replace what's proposed there.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. We have an amended bill. Is there a motion to move the bill as amended? Motion by Scott, second by Clark. Bullock?
Yes.
Pinkett?
Yes.
Reisinger? Scott? Stokes?
Yes.
Clark? Costello, yes. I would like to take a moment to publicly thank Councilman Dorsey for his leadership on this issue, the administration, specifically Mayor Pugh and her government relations team, for working with Councilman Dorsey on a compromise charter amendment. I think this is an example of what can happen when we all work together. Victor from the Law Department for working tirelessly on these amendments, and Council President Young for his leadership on this, as well as his staff, specifically Kara Kunz, for working so hard to make sure we had a compromise. This bill moves to second reader on June 25th. We are now in recess until tomorrow at 4:50 p.m. on other bills. Thank you.